Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you ready? What? I said, are you ready? Yeah! Can't steal it! Woo! Wheel and deal it! The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power. You sweet to be sour.
It's showtime, folks!
Welcome to the Grill Out. From the heart of Shillian, West Virginia, here's your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty. Episode 70 upon us. I have one co-host with me today.
And it is the Still,
yes.
Still, yes.
Yeah, you are still the prediction champion. I was letting you do your introduction, Fink style.
And it is the Still Grill Out Predictions Champion, the reflection of perfection, Jason Greatness Lykens. Remember, kids, when you're good, you're good.
But when you're great,
you're me. You're welcome.
That's Jason Lykens,
yes,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
And yes, he is still our Grill Out Predictions champion. I think the final score was like 2-1-1.
Yes.
I think we only got one match entirely correct. You got two. You got the winner of the Rumble, Charlotte, for the women's.
I'm sorry.
My pick for Dakota Kai was like a wishful, I don't want Charlotte to win pick.
You see, here's the thing. If Charlotte's character is the persona of her dad with the politics of Hogan.
I think that's a solid observation of her.
Like they say, hey, Charlotte, we're going to have you in the Rumble, and we're not going to have you win. And she's like, that doesn't work for me, sister. That's not going to work.
Yeah, not going to work this time around. Yeah, that assumption is pretty spot on. And I'll say this because
Josh, could you not interrupt? Thank you.
I was on Hotline this past week with Dave Weekly and them, and they were Royal Rumble. We're talking that, and they even said they're like, "Oh, well, Charlotte's the favorite when it comes to the betting lines. Like, you're going to go against Charlotte?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Just I don't know.
If anything, wishful thinking."
Yeah, I guess in a way it was wishful thinking on my part.
But Alexa Bliss came out.
Yes. Actually, we'll just go ahead and jump right into the Royal Rumble stuff. So yeah, Charlotte wins the Women's Royal Rumble match. Returns are from Alexa Bliss returning for the first time in 2 years.
Yes.
Nikki Bella returning at number 30.
Really, what the people want is AJ Lee.
Yeah, like I think everybody was expecting AJ Lee to be number 30.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine the pop that would have came if AJ Lee?
Like, I'm not just saying that because it was one of my picks. I just legitimately think it is what people want.
Yeah.
People want to see AJ Lee.
And that was one thing I saw on social media last night after the Royal Rumble was a lot of people were looking forward to seeing if AJ Lee was going to come back. And she unfortunately did not. One person who did pretty much re-debuted for WWE, but now as a WWE wrestler is Jordynne Grace.
Yes.
And she looked great.
She did.
She looked phenomenal.
The rolling Death Valley driver to Piper Niven.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Like the pop-up after that. Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And she came like her, and I'm not familiar with her. I am familiar with her on TNA, but not like her music and stuff. Yeah. But I heard like the siren coming out, and then Jordynne Grace is walking out. I was like, okay, they're doing like a sort of a Scott Steiner type deal.
Well, I mean, that was the music she used at last year's Rumble as well, isn't it?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
And it makes sense because, like, her unofficial nickname on Twitter is Thick Mama Pump.
Okay.
So it makes sense.
It works out.
It makes sense, especially since she did that crazy cut to what she is now.
Oh, yeah.
She looks absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she came back, did a great job in the Rumble. Roxanne Perez was the Iron Woman in that match by 47 seconds.
By 47. How long of a time was it?
It was 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 47 seconds. Liv Morgan was 1 hour and 7 minutes, and then Io Sky was like 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 45 seconds.
Okay.
And that was like, you could make an argument that all three of them were the Iron Women in this match, but Roxanne Perez went all the way.
No,
as close to all the way as she could without winning.
But I mean, at one time in the match, wasn't there like 15 women in the ring?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It was, and one cool thing I did like about the production last night was the graphic at the bottom.
Yeah,
that kept it sort of kept track of everything.
Yeah.
Who all's in the match? Who all's been eliminated? What entrant is up next? Who's been in the ring this long? Who's had this many eliminations?
Clock.
Yeah, I thought that was a great addition to the broadcast last night. And yeah, versus the men's match where there was a lot of eliminations. There was I wouldn't say a lot, but there's a steady amount of eliminations throughout the whole match. Whereas the women's, it took about halfway for people to start getting eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, and before we really get into the men's Rumble, also have to mention Trish Stratus coming out.
Yes.
As a legend, a surprise entrant in her old TNA outfit, the Test and Albert.
That's true.
Gear.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think they even made a reference to that on commentary. Yeah. Michelle McCool was not in this Rumble.
And I was shocked.
Yeah. Well, so interesting fact from last night.
Yes.
Because again, that graphic they had at the bottom, Michelle McCool has not been in every Rumble. It seems like she has, but she has not. There's only been two people in every single women's Royal Rumble match, and that is Natalya and Liv Morgan.
Okay.
That's the only two who have been in every single Royal Rumble match.
Well, Natalya coming out before Jordynne Grace to a decent pop.
Yeah. It was.
Natalya is a great worker.
Absolutely.
She is a charisma vacuum.
She ain't got the charisma.
No, she got no charisma, kid.
No, she don't got the charisma. But no, you could tell what family she comes from.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a great worker in the ring. Like you could tell like this is something like professional wrestling is something that she was born for. But then again, look at the family she comes from.
Yeah,
so
100%.
But yeah, Jordynne Grace did a great job, but nevertheless, Charlotte Flair did win the women's Rumble match last night. Motor City Machine Guns lost their 2 out of 3 falls match due to interference from Street Profits.
They did.
And then the Street Profits, after the match, attacked DIY to kind of signal that they're going to be their next challengers.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they didn't know how to really keep it on DIY. But really, you could have just had it to where hit them with a belt or something, and then Angelo and Dawkins come down. Because, I mean, are they babyface? Are they heel? Are they tweeners? Do people care? Yeah,
exactly. It's like when Avi and I are watching wrestling, and she can kind of tell who's the heel and who's the face coming out. But then there's times where like the crowd will cheer, and she's like, "I thought you said they were the bad guy."
Yeah,
and I'm like, sometimes. See, I have to explain what a tweener is. A betweener, somebody who's between a heel and a face. They're neither. It's sort of like if you look at this is the best thing I can come up with. Transformers, right?
Yeah.
Autobots and Decepticons.
Yeah.
There's certain Transformers that have both insignias on them, and they're like, I guess, like special agents or something. I don't know.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, I don't know Transformers that well, but that's the best thing.
Okay, so you don't know what you're talking about, but you're going to try to use Transformers.
Because Decepticons, Autobots, and then there is the double agent spies.
I mean, you could just be like, like a Snape in Harry Potter. He was a Death Eater, but he was a secret agent for Dumbledore. And
see, but you could speak on that more because you are a big Harry Potter fan.
We don't have to talk about that.
No,
There's
don't.
parts of my life that I keep private,
and that's one of them.
And it is this, my lovedom of Harry Potter and professional wrestling. Like outside of this format, you will not hear me talk about it.
That's true. That's very true. Because you have mentioned that this is about the only place that you do talk about professional wrestling.
It's the same things over and over.
Yeah, I as a longtime wrestling fan, I get it.
Yeah.
Like you'll go to my office at my day job and you'll see the wrestling stuff in there.
Yeah.
And there's some people that will come by and talk about it, but for the most part, there's nobody that really talks about it.
Let me ask you this about the Women's Rumble. What do you want to see as the biggest story coming out of the Women's Rumble? Like the biggest rivalry, the match that's going to happen? Forget about Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, forget about that. I think one of the biggest stories for me coming out of that Rumble is and it goes back to Roxanne Perez, what she was able to do as an NXT star.
Yeah.
She was able to hang with Liv Morgan and Io Sky, who are on the main roster. I mean, the first three, which I'll pull it up here on Wikipedia, the first three altogether were over an hour.
Yeah.
They stayed in there pretty much until the end. Yeah, right here. So the first three were that. But I think that right there was a big showing for Roxanne Perez. And I think another thing that came out of the Women's Rumble is it shows the depth of, and it goes back to NXT, the depth of the NXT women's roster.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know of a NXT star that came out there that looked bad.
No.
I thought Julia looked great. Stephanie Vaquer looked great.
Well, are we going to see animosity between Piper Niven and Chelsea Green?
Most likely.
I mean, because it was an accidental elimination, but it was still an elimination.
Yeah. I mean, that is a strong possibility.
What's next for Jordynne Grace? Is there a story between her, Naomi, and Bianca?
There could be, because there was that embrace in the ring between Naomi and Jordynne Grace, who know each other from their time in TNA.
And then Bianca tries to eliminate Jordynne Grace, and she's visually scalding Naomi.
Yeah, and but I think those are some of the other bigger stories that come out of the Women's Rumble. And like I said, the 2 out of 3 falls match for Motor City Machine Guns. They lost that due to interference from the Street Profits. And the next thing is probably the match of the night, and it's the match of the night for a lot of people, was Cody winning the ladder match. And him and Kevin Owens, they were trying to destroy each other out there.
Yes. If WWE does not make Kevin Owens' shirt available merch, they are missing out.
Absolutely. Him walking out the Canadian dream of a what was it?
Son of a security officer?
Yeah, no, son of a security software technician or something like that. If WWE does not make that a T-shirt or some type of merch off of that, they are really, really missing out. I said it on Hotline with Dave Weekly, and that is that Kevin Owens, the feud that he just had with Cody Rhodes, I think it's easily the best rivalry that Cody has had since he won the belt.
Yes.
And I think it made Cody, as the champion, to me, more relevant now. Because I did not feel this way about Cody 5 months ago.
No.
4 months ago. But since his feud with Kevin Owens, I think has shown that, yes, he is the champ. Yes, he is the champ. He is our main guy. Even though we have another world champion, he is still the undisputed champ. So I think that the program that they just did together was phenomenal. I loved all of the callbacks. I loved having the Winged Eagle belt out there. And Kevin Owens just doing what Kevin Owens does, and Cody just playing the part of the white meat, everybody loves me babyface.
Yeah. Do we need to see a Cody heel turn?
Not yet.
You don't think so?
I think.
So where does he go now?
I think eventually we do. I think right now, as far as Cody does, he needs to watch out, and we will talk about this here shortly. He needs to watch out for John Cena.
Yeah.
Because John Cena in the press conference last night was talking very intense and almost, and Josh even texted you and I both this last night. John Cena didn't, but he sort of did tease a heel turn right there. Yeah. Because to him winning the Elimination Chamber, which he already declared for, him winning the Elimination Chamber, going on to WrestleMania to challenge Cody for the title, and him winning his 17th world title is, quote, best for business.
Yeah.
So do we see do we see a John? I think the better question is right now: do we see a John Cena heel turn leading up to Mania now? I think if you're going to break the record with Flair, I think this is the only way to do it. I don't think you have waboo-doo, eat your vitamins and say your prayers, Super Cena coming out there.
Yeah.
You don't get the world title that way, and it's his last year.
Yeah,
we all know this. Give him a desperation arc.
Okay.
Give him like he's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and he's going to do everything he can to win that match at Mania. Don't do the heel turn right away.
Yeah.
Tease it.
Well, I think before we look ahead, we need to talk about what happened in the Men's Rumble last night.
Yes.
On why Cena did not win the Rumble. He was down to the final 2.
Yes, and that was one thing I did call. I did not think that Cena was going to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
I thought that was way too telegraphed. I still think Charlotte winning it is still too telegraphed. But hey, sometimes it's good to know what's next, and sometimes it's good to not know what's next. I don't have the book.
Yeah, I am not a fan of Jey Uso.
No.
He can have all the charisma, and people are loving his whole yeet thing.
Yeah.
I do not like his work. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't care for it in the ring. I don't think he's a solid worker. I think he throws super kicks as every other move. Mm-hmm. It used to be a finisher. Now it's just as common as a headlock.
That's true. It's kind of like the DDT.
Yeah.
The DDT is a very common move now.
Yeah.
But no, I think you are onto something. But I will play devil's advocate a little bit on this. So yeah, real quick before we do get into that, the Men's Rumble, we did not see as many surprise entrants.
No.
We saw Joe Hendry. Come out, who was eliminated by Roman.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the match very long. AJ Styles did return with his old music. Penta was the Iron Man in that match.
Okay.
At 42 minutes and 5 seconds.
Okay.
So, and there were a lot of reports. This was another thing. So, where Alexa Bliss, just to go back to the Women's Rumble, where Alexa Bliss came back, the dirt sheets actually late yesterday reported that she was backstage and she was in the Rumble. And then in the broadcast, they said, well, this is why you don't listen to the dirt sheets. It's like, wait a minute. They did release it, but it was just before. It was when nobody was really paying attention to him because it's day of show. And they reported also that AJ Styles was returning. So there was all of that. But there was also another report that came out, and I think it was Fightful Select, that Penta was going to have, and this is what I'm getting to, Penta was going to have a big showing in the Rumble. And he got that. Penta was the Iron Man of the match. Like I said, he's 42 minutes and 5 seconds. I thought it was great to start the Rumble match off with him and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. I
thought they were, I thought that was the correct way to do this. And I will say, and I know I'm going to sound like a boomer here, I didn't like having Ice Speed or whatever his name is, the streamer in there, but I did like that he got destroyed.
Oh yeah, that spear from Braun Breaker.
Oh my
Jesus.
God! I don't know how you get hit by that and
stay conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The speed that he picks up.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I think that there are better people, more deserving people who should have been in the Rumble than someone who's not affiliated with the company.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're going to have someone like that, then make it more believable, I guess.
Yeah. I don't... Yeah, it was the believability factor for me. And like I said, I know I sound like a boomer. I don't know who Ice Speed is.
No.
I don't watch streams. I don't watch Twitch.
No.
I'm with the boomers also when it comes to restaurant menus. Give me the physical thing. I don't want to scan a QR code.
Well, I mean, okay. So,
but I digress.
Who else would you put in there in that spot?
Oh.
I'd go R-Truth.
Yeah.
If it's a useless spot, make it because everyone loves R-Truth.
Yeah. Which, real quick, so Triple H did announce, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker announced that Triple H is going into the 2025 Royal Hall of Fame. Completely caught him off guard.
Yes.
And then R-Truth is on social media sharing pictures of Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, and there's, I was on the TikTok.
Yeah,
this morning.
Tiki-Taki.
Yeah, and saw that R-Truth was kind of at like this animation.
Oh my God, the Cenasaurus.
Cenasaurus. It's like, and look, it's going to hatch from the egg. No, it's not. You can see it. It's Cenasaurus.
R-Truth is a national treasure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you're right because R-Truth wasn't in the match at all. So yeah, I think he could have easily been the one to take that spot.
Yeah, you could have had him. Could have had Otis.
No, Otis was in the match.
Was he?
Yeah, Otis was in the match.
Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't get to watch all of it until.
It's okay. He was
Cena
number
came.
6. Otis was number 6.
Okay.
I Show Speed. That's the guy's name. He was number 8. And they have him listed here as eliminated by Braun Breaker and Otis.
Okay.
Yeah.
But number 30. What do you think about the reaction for one Logan Paul?
I'm not shocked. He's not. I would have been upset if Logan Paul won the Rumble. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I would have been very upset with that because I think I've said it before on the show. Logan is a natural.
Yeah, he's a great athlete.
Great athlete. I think he's a natural heel.
Yeah.
He is so hateable.
Yeah.
But somebody like him who, again, I know I'm going to sound like a boomer, but doesn't put the work in.
Yeah.
That somebody like a Jey Uso. You may not fully agree with Jey Uso winning the Rumble, but would you rather have Logan Paul win it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, Jey Uso's put in his time. He's paid his dues. He puts in the work. Logan Paul shows up for a few matches a year.
Yeah.
And some people were upset, and I think I was slightly when he won the U.S. title. It's a mid-card title. Let him have it. Put some gold on it. Now that we are separated from it a little bit, I can look at it a little objectively.
Yeah, I mean, I can look at it and be like, okay, well, even when it happened, I was like, well, but he's going to go to all these other platforms, and they're going to see the title, so it's giving that relevance. But it's different than putting the main rocket to him and shooting him up to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like when I saw that it was Cena, Logan, Jey Uso left, and I was like, I thought at that point I was like, okay, I was wrong about Cena. He's going to win.
Yeah.
And then Logan gets eliminated. I had a sigh of relief. I went, okay, all right.
No, I was worried.
I was too. Because to me, if they would have went with Logan, it would have been that's a Vince decision.
Yeah.
That's a Vince era decision.
Yeah.
And I was not going to be a fan of that at all.
I'll tell you who I would have rathered see than Speed. Put Pat McAfee in that Rumble. Then it makes sense.
Because they're in Indianapolis.
Yes.
He used to play for the Indianapolis Colts, my NFL team. And like he is very likable, and he's been in the ring before.
Yeah.
I mean,
But no, I mean, get Pat McAfee. I mean, come on. He was even on War Games.
War Games!
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, Pat McAfee has done the work.
He has. I mean, he even had a ring built on his property for him to wrestle in.
Apparently, he made his professional wrestling debut in West Virginia.
Well,
I'm not a fan of that. I'll say this, and I don't entirely hate Jey Uso winning it because he's talking like he's going to challenge Gunther again for the World Heavyweight title. I just saw. I'll say this, and I was explaining this to Avi last night. This is the last thing, and then we got to hop to on this day in wrestling history. I saw Jey Uso come out, and I was explaining to her. I said, "There's a difference between getting a pop and being over."
yeah.
Jey Uso's over. He's not just getting a pop and then it's fizzling out.
Yeah.
Like, the crowd is reacting to him. The crowd is going along with him with the whole yeet stuff. And based on that, and based on how they've positioned him in the past few years anyway, bringing all that context in, it kind of makes sense that they would go this way. And I'll say this, Triple H, as far as booking goes, he's had way more hits than misses.
I agree.
Yeah. So maybe at this point we just ride it out, see where this takes us.
Yeah.
But I do think that John Cena may do anything he can to win the Elimination Chamber and and challenge Cody Rhodes. So
we'll see.
Yeah. But we're going to shift gears to On This Day in Wrestling History. February 2nd, 1976. After being struck in the face, Susan Tex Green put the NWA Women's Champion, the Fabulous Moolah, in a shoot-real submission hold and made her give up the match. Green held the Women's Championship for several days before being forced by Vince McMahon Sr. to give it back, re-awarding it to Moolah. Green's title reign is not recognized by WWE.
You know who'd be a good person to ask about that?
Josh. Yeah.
Josh, what do you think? He's
Good talk.
Shy today.
Yep. February 2nd, 1998. Monday Night Raw was in Indiana. The first match of the night saw Cactus Jack take on Chainsaw Charlie, Terry Funk, in a King of Hardcore match. The match ended in a no contest after Cactus Jack backdropped Charlie into a dumpster, climbed up on the Titantron, and launched himself on the Charlie, still inside the bin. Straight away, Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg turned up and tied the lid shut before launching the dumpster off the stage with Cactus and Charlie still inside. Mick Foley and Terry Funk are insane.
Yeah, but I vividly remember watching this on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I was reading it, it was replaying in my head. I was like, oh, I do vaguely remember this. Anyway, February 2nd, 2010, Vince McMahon appeared. He appeared on an episode of ECW on Sci-Fi to announce that in 2 weeks' time, the brand would cease to exist. It would be replaced by a new reality/competition series that would be called NXT.
Whatever happened to that brand?
NXT?
Yeah, are they still around?
Oh, yeah. They're on the CW every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Pretty much the booker over there is Shawn Michaels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shawn, did he ever do anything in wrestling?
Well, I'll tell you at the break.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back.
It's time for more of the Grill Out. Here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty, and I'm joined by the reigning and, well, not defending right now, but still, your Grill Out predictions.
The longest reigning. The inaugural.
Cumulative reigning as well.
Yeah.
You have a few records under your belt.
Here's the thing.
That's Jason Lykens, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm pretty great.
I can, the most humblest man alive.
It's true.
Yeah.
Ask me, I'll tell you.
He's so, he is so humble.
Well, here's the thing, Jeff, okay, and you and the little people in the world don't seem to understand this, that when you are good, but when you're great, you're me. Simple as that.
I mean, whatever it is that you say. So one thing that, like, Jason and I, we do have a tendency that when we get ready to start recording the show is to start to shoot the breeze off the air. And one thing that we worked... yeah.
That's me shooting.
Yeah, with the pew-pews.
Brother, much love. H.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be out at, like, Kroger, and she'll say, all right, brother, and I'm like, brother, much love, H. Why does he write his tweets like they're emails?
I don't know.
I never understand that.
It's like we know what you signing out there, Hogan. It's from your account. We got it.
Or the time that he tweeted about Bam Margera, like, oh, I miss him. I wish we could have hung out again. Bam tweets back at him. He's like, I'm still alive, Hulkster. What?
I don't know.
Oh, older people with their technology. No. But yeah, so we were talking off the air just a little bit ago about, like, tag team and just matches in general from different generations that we would have loved to have seen. And one that Jason already threw out there off the air is between American Alpha
and the world's greatest tag team. Yeah. Chad Gable, Jason Jordan versus Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas. I mean, it's pretty much the same tag team.
Yes.
From two different generations.
That's true. And, like, another interesting thing with that is, like, how, because we know the style has changed between when the world's greatest tag team was, around that same age as American Alpha, etc. Like, there's been a change in the style of professional wrestling. How much, like, would we see it, like, work well together between the two? I think we would. I think those two teams would have figured out a way to make it work together.
I think the amount of suplexes alone in that match would have been ridiculous.
Don't do a drinking game with that.
No, you die.
Yeah, exactly. You would. Just like for some reason last night with the women's match, there was a lot of kip ups.
Okay.
Did you notice that? Like,
I didn't, because I haven't gone back and watched all of it yet, because I was currently at the time driving back from Columbus.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We were keeping you updated, but yeah. No, there was a lot of kip ups in that match, and I don't know how many there were, but there was enough to where it was noticeable.
I don't think the kip up's super impressive anymore.
No, it's not. It used, like when Shawn Michaels did it. It was. I thought it was like, oh, that's cool. Like that takes a lot of athleticism to do that. Because then my chubby self is out in the yard.
Try it once and you land on your back and you can't breathe for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I tried it. I tried it out in the yard. I tried it in my mom's living room. I tried it on the trampoline.
Now you see, the trampoline was different.
That's true.
Like I could do a backflip and land on my feet on a trampoline.
Yeah.
On the ground, I land on my head. And that was when I was in shape. Now I'd probably just land flat back bump, baby.
Yeah, no. But I'll say this, speaking of Shawn Michaels, I think Shawn Michaels, and this isn't one that people talked about, Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles I think it would have torn the roof off the place.
You know, the annoying thing is you could put Shawn Michaels in there with anyone.
Yeah.
And it would be just amazing.
He had the I'll say the Ric Flair talent for it, because the old thing was Flair could get a 3-star match out of a broomstick, and I think Michaels could have done the same thing. Michaels could make you look incredible.
Yes,
he could make you look like a fool.
Yes,
I mean, look at his match with Hogan at SummerSlam. Like, it was oversold so much that it's goofy.
You know, the funny thing though is if you watch a lot of older Michaels matches when he's a heel, he kind of did that for everyone he faced.
That's true.
So while he was, he didn't want to be, but he was the heel in the Hogan match.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was just kind of old school heel Michaels.
That's true.
So, I don't know.
Well, and the way the story went was they were supposed to have 3 matches, I think.
Yes.
And I think Michaels was supposed to win the first one. Hogan was supposed to win the second one, and I think they were supposed to figure out what to do about the third one.
Yeah.
And Hogan acts that's not going to work for me, brother. And
much love, HH.
And much love, HH, while tweeting it.
Hogan, you're in the room with us. You don't have to say HH. We know where it's coming from. Sorry, brother. Much love, HH.
Brother. But he axed it and was like, "No, that ain't gonna work for me, brother."
Yeah.
And then he turns around. This is where he messed up. He turns around and goes, "This is how the story goes. So take this with a pinch of salt. This is some legends, but allegedly he was like, I think this is coming from Michaels, that he wanted heel Michaels." Like 90s heel Michaels. And Shawn was like, "Are you sure you want that? Like, I don't know if you realize what you're asking for." And then that's when we get to the famous Larry King, Shawn Michaels acting like he's Hulk Hogan coming in with a walker and brother.
Yeah.
Like, and then he pulls his back and everything. Like, that right there, like,
I mean, that was DX Michaels.
That was, and Michaels even said, he's like, "You really want 90s?" He would rip you to shreds.
Yeah,
like 90s heel Michaels was bad. Like he was a bad man. But yeah, I think Shawn Michaels is somebody that you could put into the ring with just about anybody. And another thing, just to go back to American Alpha, Chad Gable is this generation's Kurt Angle.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I think we've even said this before on the show. The crowd last night was even saying "you suck" to him.
Yeah.
So that crowd christened him pretty much as this generation's Kurt Angle, to which I say, could you imagine the match between those two?
It'd be crazy.
It would be. Like, it would be. You want to talk about suplexes.
Yeah.
Like,
I would much rather see Kurt Angle from then versus Chad Gable now than anything between Angle and Lesnar.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Lesnar is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Not taking anything away from him.
No.
But I think Gable is a much better worker than Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
And I just would have preferred to see Gable Angle.
That's true. That's very true. Another one, and this goes back to Michaels, and I'll step out of WWE with this one. Michaels and Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
that would have been that. I think that would have been off the charts because Kenny Omega is known as the best bout machine. All the star matches that he has with Meltzer and all this. And there's even people that will there's people that may hate Kenny, but then they see him and they're like, okay, I kind of get it.
Yeah, I
kind of get it. You can make an argument with like the Young Bucks. That you're not. I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm not that big of a fan of the Young Bucks. Like they're just not my thing." But then you bring up Kenny, and they're like, "Oh, I do like Kenny. I like Kenny stuff." I think that would have been a great match. Another one, and this is going back to WWE. Kevin Owens and Stone Cold.
Oh yeah.
The promos between those two.
Not like last. No, the WrestleMania Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold.
No, not that one.
But just like peak Stone Cold.
Stone Cold before he won his world title.
Yeah.
Like 97 Austin. 98 to 2000 Stone Cold Steve Austin was great, but I feel like 97, 96 Austin would have meshed a little, especially 97. I think 97 with his program with Bret Hart and stuff and him really coming into himself at that point. I think that Austin with Kevin Owens would have been money at that point. I mean, like I said, the promos that would come out of those two alone.
I mean, I know people would always say, Stone Cold CM Punk.
Yeah.
And I know people would say Bret Hart CM Punk. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to put CM Punk in one, I would much rather see CM Punk, Mr. Perfect.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
Yeah. Because, Bret Hart was a great technical worker.
Absolutely.
I honestly think Mr. Perfect was better.
Really?
Yes.
Controversial take now from Jason Lykens.
Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, was a better technical worker than Bret Hart.
You just blew people's minds right
Maybe.
now.
Maybe.
I mean, you're not going to see a whole lot of pushback from me on that because Mr. Perfect, it's in his name.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
Yes.
Like, he didn't just have that gimmick given to him to, just to have it. Like,
I think one thing that hindered him in his career was a lot of personal extracurricular activities.
Yes.
Which diminished his skills, but I think, hands down, probably one of the best technical wrestlers of all time.
That's true. And also, the extracurricular activities, that was very prevalent in that time of professional wrestling.
Yes, it was.
And I think that hindered a lot of great talents.
Yeah.
I think Jake Roberts being another one.
Yes.
And, and I honestly, since I just went ahead and threw his name out, okay, let me think about this. Who would I put Jake Roberts against in this day and age?
Which company?
Oh, let's just say any company.
Any company.
Any company.
Jake Roberts. Any company.
Any company. Who? I'll just throw, and I will throw the question out there to the audience. If you have a match from a current wrestler that you would love to see against a older wrestler, a former wrestler, email us, thegrillout95@gmail.com. You can message us on Facebook, the facebook.com/thegrillout, and you can also follow us on Blue Sky at thegrillout.bsky.social.
If you send us a message on Facebook, you get a response.
You will. You will absolutely get a response.
We've been having plenty of back and forth conversations in the DMs.
Yep.
On Facebook.
We're trying to work on some stuff as well. Stuff for hopefully here soon, but later on in the year. You will get a response from us, and if you send us and it's a good one, we'll read it on the air.
Yeah,
we'll give you the credit for it. But yeah, Jake Roberts. Who would we put Jake Roberts against? I'm trying to think of and the crazy thing is, if you sit there and you think about Jake Roberts, the Jake the Snake character, the gimmick, is in a way, when you look at the giant history of professional wrestling, it's sort of one of the more unique ones.
It is. I mean, he's not a fast worker. He's a very slow. I think Triple H.
I was thinking him or Randy Orton.
Yeah.
The Viper.
Yeah, I think you have to find someone who has I don't want to say a slower pace match, but
No.
it is. It's a very meticulous style match.
Yeah.
And I think it would have to. Yeah, I think Randy Orton would be the perfect one.
I think Randy Orton would be a perfect one. I think you throwing Triple H out is another one that would be spot on with that. And also, I think it would also, as far as promos, I think it would work better with Randy because, I mean, even though Triple H is going into the Hall of Fame, he was never really known for his promos.
Yeah.
It's the game. I'm the champ.
Okay.
Yeah.
R-Truth.
Toriano.
Yes.
Toriano immediately.
Yeah, hands down.
Real quick, and also, like, if you don't know who Toriano is, do yourself a favor and get on the YouTubes.
Yes.
He is. There's a reason why we sing his praises on his show.
I absolutely love Toriano.
Yeah, Toriano is a sort of a comedy wrestler from Japan. He's in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he just to explain his gimmick real quick. He pushes merch.
His merch.
Yes.
Yes.
Toriano will always walk out with a T-shirt, which is not out of the ordinary.
No.
But he's carrying a DVD
Yes.
that he's trying to sell, and he is always trying to sell his merch.
Yeah.
He has even been at shows and sold his merch there while he's in the middle of a match and just kept the money.
I mean, best way to do it.
Yeah. And then I don't know how true this is. I don't know if this was somebody wanting to fantasy book it or if it was true, because I haven't been able to find where Toriano won a tournament. But apparently, like I said, take it with a grain of salt, but Toriano winning a tournament, because in Japan, when somebody wins a tournament, at the very end, they go ahead and they give this big speech to the crowd.
Okay.
It's just a custom over there, and I don't know if somebody was fantasy booking it or not, or had Toriano winning the tournament, and his entire speech was just him trying to sell his merch.
I mean, it was one of the tournament press conferences that they do.
Oh yeah.
And he's just up there trying to sell his merch the entire time.
He's not even answering anything.
No, he's just,
DVD.
Yeah,
Buy my DVD. Do yourself a favor. Toriano and R-Truth would be pretty great on that one. And did you know, speaking of Toriano, did you know he had a match with RVD?
Really?
Yeah.
Like how long ago?
Oh, it's been 10 or so years.
Okay.
Because Toriano, he does the Yano Toru, which is like RVD's.
Yes.
So like they were doing that at each other. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because in Japan, like we're saying Toriano, but in Japan it's Yano Toru.
Yes.
So yeah. But yeah, I didn't know if you knew that. He had a match with RVD.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it has to be R-Truth.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah.
This is just a random thought. R-Truth you think he's ever going to go into the Hall of Fame?
I think he would have to.
Yeah.
Like honestly, yeah.
I think R-Truth is a prime example of somebody who took chicken crap and made chicken salad.
Yes.
And I don't think he wasn't always as liked as he is now.
No.
He definitely had to earn that from the fan base, but yeah, like I think R-Truth, I do. I don't know if I don't see him headlining
No.
a Hall of Fame, but I definitely see him going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So R-Truth and Toriano. Okay. So, let's see.
Okay. Here's one. I would like to see Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard versus FTR.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would that's sort of like the American Alpha World's Greatest Tag Team setup.
Even FTR versus Demolition Axe and Smash, since that's where they got their current ring names.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah, I could see those. I'll shift gears real quick because we haven't said a whole lot about the women. I'm thinking who woman wise, who would I like to see? I would like to see Becky Lynch against Lita or Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
I think Becky has had a match with Trish Stratus, so that's kind of out of the way. So currently on the roster right now,
I would love to have seen Asuka versus Alundra Blaze.
yes.
Because Alundra Blaze did so much stuff in Japan.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's why they kept bringing women from Japan, because there wasn't that here.
Yeah.
So I would love to see Asuka versus Alundra Blaze.
That would be pretty great. I'm trying to think of like who would I put like Victoria with. I know that's the era after Alundra Blaze.
Yeah.
Who would I put Victoria against though? I'm thinking honestly, maybe. Trying to think, Jamie Hayter.
Okay.
Jamie Hayter and Victoria.
Okay.
I feel like their styles are sort of similar.
Yeah.
But I think because I think they would complement each other a lot because they both sort of got that power style to them. Like, so yeah, possibly that. Maybe
Jazz versus Bianca Belair.
Yeah. Jazz was underrated.
Oh yeah,
big time.
Yeah.
She was incredibly underrated as a wrestler. I think Jazz you could kind of put. I think really that group right there. Let me think. Molly Holly real quick. Who would we put Molly Holly against?
Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one would go well. Okay, yeah, Molly Holly with against Bailey. We'll just leave Trish Stratus out of that. So
Mickie James.
But Mickie James is also still sort of active.
She is.
Yeah. So she's still around.
Okay.
She's still doing things.
China.
Oh. China against who?
I don't know.
Jordan Grace.
But is that just because of physiques?
Yeah. That's true.
Because, I mean, let's be honest. China, not the greatest worker in the ring.
That's true. But I know that you're not too big on this particular wrestler's work.
You're going to go Naomi, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
I think Sasha Banks of China would be a good watch.
You see, here's the thing. I'm fine with Sasha Banks. I don't like Mercedes Moné.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Sasha Banks was a more compelling character,
Mm-hmm.
and she had, I don't want to say better talent, but she wasn't as hyped.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't as much expectation on her
That's
to
true.
deliver.
That's very true. Mercedes Moné sort of came in, whereas like the expectations for Sasha came in sort of low, the expectations for Mercedes Moné came in kind of high.
Yeah.
But you can make the argument that the reason why they were so high is because of the work that she did as Sasha. Because when she started as Sasha, the reason why the expectations were so low is because they didn't know who she was yet.
Yeah.
So it also, and this is something that we talked about. I can't remember if it was last episode or the episode before that, where I made the comment about like I feel like that there are certain people that thrive more in the environment, I guess, that AEW has, such as Toni Storm, and there's people who think they might, but really thrive more in the WWE environment, and I guess you can make that argument for Mercedes Moné.
Yeah. Okay, here's one. I would like to see Timeless Toni Storm.
Oh, okay.
Against the Fabulous Moolah.
Oh my God, her or Mae Young?
Yeah, either one.
Yeah.
I mean, even Alundra Blaze to a certain extent, but I want it to be a generation before that. I mean, Rockin' Robin. I want it to be,
Mildred Burke. You can throw her in there. So again, okay. So I'm going to toss the question back to the audience.
Yes.
Who would you like to see? It doesn't matter what promotion they're from. It doesn't matter what era they're from. But one wrestler has to be from this generation. So it has to be from this generation of wrestlers.
Yeah.
They have to still be active. So from this generation of wrestlers, what is a dream match you would like to see them against somebody from the past? Yeah. And it could go all the way back to Mildred Burke and them. You can go all the way back to Gorgeous George, etc. Just email us, thegrillout95@gmail.com. With those, you can message us on Facebook, facebook.com/thegrillout. You can also message us on Blue Sky at thegrillout.bsky.social. So, and if you send us those and they sound really good, we'll give you credit and say it on the air. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just send those messages. But we're going to shift gears.
Well, make it good. Make it like really good.
Yeah.
Make it clever.
Yeah. Make it clever. Don't give us don't say stuff that we've already said on the air.
Don't give us Austin Punk. Like that's
don't give us something that everybody is saying. Give us something that is going to be
Like, that could not have happened.
Yeah, could never have happened, and something that you think that would be a banger of a match. All right, so we're going to shift gears to the main event.
Looks like all the talking has been done. It's time for the main event.
Welcome to the main event, where we go ahead and let you know what your upcoming week of professional wrestling is going to look like internationally, nationally, and, of course, locally. As far as internationally and nationally, we have... on television, it's pretty much the same as it is every week. Monday Night Raw, Tuesdays NXT, Wednesdays Dynamite, etc., etc.
Yes.
But this upcoming Wednesday, February 5th, at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, Stardom, New Blood 18 will be taking place. And then next Saturday, February 8th, Major League Wrestling Super Fight 6 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.
On the YouTube.
Yes, on the YouTubes. Also go watch some Toriano highlights and let us know what you think of it. Locally, we have a lot here. On Friday, February 7th, World Domination Wrestling Alliance will be in action for
All's Fair in Love and War.
At the Bennington Volunteer Fire Department in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Bell time is 7 o'clock, and tickets are $20. The rest of these are on Saturday, February 8th. All-Star Wrestling will be at the Special Occasions Event Center in Logan, West Virginia to present
My Bloody Valentine, the Nathan Rumble,
which will be the third annual memorial show for Nathan Bush, prior to his passing in 2022. Nathan was the primary color commentator for ASW, and his favorite match was WWE's Royal Rumble. For the first time, the winner of the Nathan Rumble will receive an ASW Heavyweight Championship match. Also, World Championship Wrestling legend Buff Bagwell will be there. Meet and greet is at 5 o'clock. Bell time is 7 o'clock. Reserved seating is $20, and general admission is $15.
What if you're not a general?
I don't know. I guess you take that up with Gary Dameron.
Okay.
Yep. Battleground Wrestling returns to action to present
The Battle of Bloody Ridge.
Which will be held at the Fear on the Farm Haunted House in Winfield, West Virginia. Bell time is 1 o'clock, and tickets are $20, but it is limited seating as only 100 tickets are being sold. Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance will be at the Short Gap Volunteer Fire Department in Ridgely, West Virginia. Bell time is 7:30 p.m., and tickets are $25 for first row, $20 for second row, and $18 for general admission. Elite Pro also does regular shows typically every Thursday at 7 o'clock at the Indy Theater in Kaiser, West Virginia, with a $10 admission. Real Shoot Wrestling presents
Headed for a Heartbreak
at the Harrison County Parks and Recreation Complex in Clarksburg, West Virginia. This is a free event with a bell time of 6 o'clock. These last two were originally scheduled for last month, but due to the snowstorms, they were postponed and will now be held this Saturday. Top Notch Wrestling Alliance will hold
New Dawn, Second Coming
at the New Haven Community Center in New Haven, West Virginia. Bell time is 7 o'clock, and it's $10 for general admission, $7 for kids ages 12 to 6, and free for kids 5 and under.
And finally, I wanted to take this one because I have nothing to say in it.
Let's go ahead.
And finally, West Virginia Wrestling Federation will be at the Richardson Building in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Bell time is 7 p.m. and tickets are $10, while it's free for kids 5 and under.
And one last note, if you missed the days of watching wrestling on Saturday mornings, beginning this Saturday, United States Wrestling will launch their YouTube series,
Justice,
which will be uploaded on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And that's going to do it for this segment. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap everything up. Stay tuned.
Once again, here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Line. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty, and I'm joined by the current reigning Grill Out Predictions champion, Jason Lykens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Me.
That's him. All right.
Here.
He has arrived. So real quick,
I've been here.
Clash in Paris has been confirmed for August 31st.
Yes.
So that's a pay-per-view later this year for
Premium
WWE.
live event.
Premium live event.
Yes.
I still call where they're on Peacock, I still say WWE Network, but then again, I also still call X Twitter, so I'm like that.
Well, I mean, one of those is acceptable.
Yeah.
And it's definitely Twitter.
Yeah, it's Twitter. I don't care what they say. Saya Kamitani defeated Suzu Suzuki to retain her World of Stardom Championship at Stardom Superfight 2025. And it was also announced last night on WWE Royal Rumble that WWE Evolve will be debuting March 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tubi. So, and that will be on every Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Is there anything else go on Wednesday at 8?
AEW Dynamite.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah, I that one, I think that one is sort of purposeful in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get like they don't have that many days that they could pick.
I mean, it is also Tubi.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who's going to be.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if unless you're like really into WWE, like that's the only promotion that you watch.
Yeah.
You're going to watch that. I may catch the first episode just to see what it's about, but it's definitely not going to be like the old Evolve.
Yeah.
It's not.
Here's another one: Shinsuke Nakamura and Vader.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did they have a match? Or no? I think I'm thinking of Nakamura and Lesnar.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm thinking
Nakamura and Lesnar did.
Yeah.
I believe Will Ospreay and Vader did.
Oh, I didn't know Will Ospreay had a match with Vader.
I think so.
Oh, wow.
But yeah.
Vader and Shinsuke Nakamura, that would be an interesting one. That would be a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Huh. Again, like if you have a match, a dream match that you would love to see between a current wrestler who is currently working versus an old wrestler who has retired, let us know. thegrillout95@gmail.com. You can also message us on Facebook, facebook.com/thegrillout, and follow us on Blue Sky at thegrillout.bsky.social. So, yeah. Just follow us on all the socials. Let us know there. And like I said, if it's a good one, we will announce it on the air. So that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen.
Zack Sabre Jr., Ken Shamrock.
That's a good one. That's another good one. And you said one off the air, Owen Hart and Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
That would be that one.
Yeah.
Specifically, Owen Hart Super Junior tournament.
New Japan.
New Japan Super Junior Owen Hart against
Yeah.
the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. So that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go like all the socials. And until next time, fellow wrestling fans, have a good one.
Goodbye. And good night. Bad.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.